Okay guys, it's Age of Sigmar Battle Report time again. This time we're in the realm of beasts. So for this battle I will be using the special rules from the General's Handbook for the primal dice. And in this battle report we've got the Stormcast Eternals defending this abandoned Stormvault against the Maggotkin of Nurgle, who are encroaching upon their territory. Welcome back guys, I'm Rich, and I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, as if Jason Momoa is on a Warhammer channel, but it's not Jason Momoa, it's actually my cousin Michael. Welcome aboard.
Hello. So
today we're playing Age of Sigmar, and because we've got the battlefield set in the realm of beasts, we're going to try and use some of the General's Handbook primal dice. Like I said, part of the reason for doing the channel was so I can play more Age of Sigmar and learn the rules. I'm going to try as I go through the battle plans to introduce more rules into it. So this time I'm going to use the primal dice, things like that. So hopefully it goes well, and as we learn, hopefully you guys can learn along and enjoy it with us. Michael, what have you brought, mate?
I've got my Stormcast Eternals.
Sweet, and I've got my Maggotkin of Nurgle, so I'll go into showing off both our armies now. Okay guys, this is 1,000 points of Maggotkin of Nurgle. So what I'll do is I'll go over the general army rules that they've got, then the sub-faction, my grand strategy, and then I'll quickly go through each of the units as well. So, the Maggotkin of Nurgle, we've got this here called the Cycle of Corruption, which you roll for at the start of the game. It'll give your army a benefit, and then the wheel will turn every turn and change to a new benefit, which can sometimes benefit me or sometimes hinder your opponent, depending on what it turns to, which can make an absolutely huge difference to your game, depending on what it does. So sometimes it can absolutely knacker you, and sometimes it can be, you can get crazy combos going off with some of your unit rules. Next up, the army has Disgustingly Resilient, which means every model has a 5+ ward save, and every unit will heal 1 wound at the start of the turn. You've also got the ability to summon in demons, which I'll show you how that works as the game goes on. You basically accumulate corruption points by taking over the battlefield with your models. What else have we got? We've also got the sub-faction for the army, which is the Blessed Sons, which basically means any of the mortal heroes, that would be Bloab and the Putrid Blight Kings. They explode like Stormcast do, but instead of exploding into lightning, they explode into farts and infect people around them with the last army rule that the army has called disease points. So you can basically, when you hit your opponent with missile weapons or with spells or in combat, you then put a marker on your opponent's units, and for each hit you can accumulate these hits up to 7 on a unit, and at the end of every turn your opponent has to roll these dice, where you roll depending on the number, and any 4+ will cause mortal wounds to that unit as they basically die from disease caused by your units. And things like the cycle, spellcasters, other relics and abilities can boost that to make the rolls better or to add more disease points on. So it's something that you can really lean into with the army. Next I'll go over the actual units. We'll start with the General, who is Bloab Rotspawned. So he's a wizard riding on a huge Maggoth monster, which can fire vomit out at you at 14-inch range. He's got rules where he affects spellcasters with his bells, and he's also can affect you to hit rolls, because basically Bloab is just full of flies, and they can fly out and distract your opponents. He's got a spell which is a really, really powerful spell. It's basically like a hex, so you put it on your opponent if it's successfully cast, and if that unit ever takes any damage in any phase, his spell will cause more damage to them at the end of that phase. So you can cause damage in every phase with him if that spell goes off. So I imagine that's what Michael's going to be using his Dispel Scroll on from his Knight Incantor. He's also picked another spell called Plague Squall, so he can basically cause a few disease points from the opposite side of the battlefield just by looking at you. Next unit will be my Putrid Blight Kings. So, battle line unit, but they've got lots of wounds each. Like a lot of wounds. They've got 4 each, and then the champion has 5 wounds. They've got lots of attacks, so they're really good at dishing out the plague disease points in combat. And because of the Blessed Suns, they'll explode into farts at the end. And at the end of the fight phase, they have a rule called Relentless Attackers, where they can cause even more damage, as I imagine. They'll vomit on you and cause all kinds of horrible things to you at the end of the combat phase. So they're an absolute nightmare to deal with. Behind them is the Plague Drones, so that's Plague Bearers riding on these huge fly monsters. They can throw Death Head at people, so it's a shooting attack, which again can combine well to get the disease points on, and even better if he's cast his spell on the unit to cause more damage. They've got lots of attacks, quite tough, and it's a little bit of speed in a Nurgle army, which is what you need. Then everyone's favourite cheeky little fellas is the Nurglings. I believe these fellas heal up to full wounds if you don't kill them in a phase, making them quite annoying. And they can forward deploy. And then we've got 10 Plague Bearers, your standard cheaper battle line units, but still plenty tough. Difficult to hit with missile weapons because they have flies all around them. So that's the army. It's not too many models, but I've tried to bring a more varied unit choice for what I could. I wanted to bring a big monster instead of it all being people on foot. So hopefully it goes well and I get to show off all of the cool Nurgle things, and I'll go into Michael's Stormcast now. Okay, so this is 1000 points of Michael's Stormcast Eternals. So what's the battle traits for Stormcast Eternals, mate?
So Stormcast die, they explode into a ball of lightning.
Yeah.
For every wound they've got on a 6+, cause a mortal wound to the enemy.
Yeah, cool.
Then I've chose Storm Keep, which just means 1 and 2 are classed as multiple models, and then 3 onwards, any objective on the board, if an enemy unit charges within 1 inch, I can cause mortal wounds to it.
Yeah, so you count as multiple models is when you are contesting objectives, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's instead of basically deploying via, like, from the heavens.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, and then you also get to pick a sub-faction, so Stormkeep. So which Stormkeep are you?
So I've chose Hallowed Knights.
Yeah, because you've got...
Because I'm running Gardas, so when a model dies on a 4+, before they're removed from the board, they can fight before they die.
Yeah.
And then because of that, Gardas gives everyone within 12 a 5+ ward.
He's kind of the linchpin of your army, isn't he, really?
Yeah.
That's Gardas there doing his superhero landing. Have you picked a holy command for your army?
So my holy command is Call It Weird, so when a Redeemer unit dies, I can bring one back from command point.
And Redeemers are...
They are my Sequitors, any battle line, Sequitors, Vindictors.
Alright, yeah, so one of these 3 units can be brought back to the battlefield as long as you have a hero alive, yeah?
Yep.
Alright, cool. So your general is Gardas, yeah?
No, my general is my Knight Encounter.
So it's this lady here. And does she have any relics or command traits?
So the artifact of power she's took is just a vial of Manticore Venom, gives her a +1 to her wound rolls.
Yeah.
Command trait she's took Master of Magic, so she can reroll any casting or D-spell once per hero phase.
Yes.
Give her a spell of Thundershock, just to try and help me out, so any enemy unit within 12 on a 3+, I can give them a -1 to their wound rolls.
Right, sweet. And she also carries a, like, what I would call a Dispel Scroll, so it's like an automatic denial, isn't it?
Yeah, that can do once a game.
Yeah, which is really, really handy. Obviously, your other hero is Gardas.
Yep. Mainly easier just to give just a unit of 5+ ward.
Yeah, it's crazy handy, especially with all the disease points going about in the game. So we'll go through your units. We'll start over here.
So these are 5 Sequitors. I give the champion a great mace, and I've given 2 normal great maces just to give out some extra damage.
Yeah.
Just a shot around the battlefield.
Yeah, sweet. Next unit is...
And that's my Annihilators, another heavy unit, just to try and charge across the table and do a lot of damage with.
Yeah, they've got a 2+ armour save normally, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the charge, whatever I charge, I roll that number of dice, and every 4 is a mortal wound.
Yeah, this is basically just juggernaut into you. At the back here...
Got my Evocators and Draculans.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've used them, so just to see how they do with the new Thunderstrike units.
Yes, but they can reroll charges, right?
Yeah, because the Draculans have got an inbuilt reroll on charge.
And they can, because these are magical, they can empower themselves, can't they?
Yeah, another spell they can do and dispel something, as long as there's 2 models. Empower gives them a +1 to them or any Redeemer unit, which is my Battle Lance, +1 to their wound rolls.
Sweet.
And then after they've attacked, each model's unit gets 3 dice, and on 4s, any unit within, I think it's 1 or 3 inch can do mortal wounds.
Right, okay, so there's that people with lightning and magical stuff at the end of the fight as well.
Yep.
That's a little bit similar to what the Blight Kings do actually, but your version's more powerful. And then last unit over here.
Now I've got 2 squads of 5 Vindictors. These are just bog standard battle line, just helps get numbers on the table. Every attack they do, if they hit on a 6, it's an automatic mortal wound.
Sweet, should be handy to get through that. Those tough Nurgle boys. So it's looking good, right? We'll get over to the actual battle plan and the mission now. Right, so both the armies are deployed. But what I'll do first is I'll go over the actual mission. It's quite simple, this one really. You've got 4 objectives going along the centre of the battlefield. A little bit like Pulse, Geomantic Pulse. But in this one, it doesn't have a pulse. It just, you score points having 1 objective, having 2 objectives, having more objectives than your opponent, and then if you do your battle tactic, you get 2. So that means you can score 5 victory points per turn. The special rule for this mission is, it's because this mission is called Lines of Communication. You can disrupt your opponent in this mission because you're supposed to be so far behind enemy lines and away from everybody, which kind of fits the theme of the battlefield being deep in the deserts of Gur. So basically what that means is whoever goes second in every battle round, they can pick to disrupt a phase. So example would be, I end up going second in a battle round because Michael has no shooting in his army. I'll just go, I'm going to disrupt the command phase. So if Michael wants to issue a command in his command phase, he has to roll a dice. If he rolls a 3 or higher, he has to spend 2 command points to issue that command. As everyone's like, okay, what? And if you can choose to then discard it and not spend the extra CP, but then you fail to issue the command. And that applies to both whoever goes second in this mission. Now go over deployment. So we've got Bloab. I've deployed him here. He's out of 30-inch range of the Knight Incantor, who's got a Dispel Scroll ready. And like I said, Bloab has a spell where he can put disease points on anyone he can see. So he's like, oh yes, can see many folk. Free disease for you. Then we've got the Nalmor is down in here. It's going to generate me corruption points to summon in more demons. We've got the 10 Plague Bearers. There's an objective there for them, and there's an objective there they could go towards. Then we've got my drones, who are in the centre of the battlefield, and then we've got my Blight Kings on the right flank. Now, you might have noticed that this is a 6x4 board, but I'm playing Age of Sigmar, which is playing smaller, so I've marked it out with stones. So you see these stones along here, that's actually the edge of the battlefield. And then we just extended the deployment zones a little bit. It pretty much works out. All of the measurements for the objectives and the deployments are all correct. So Michael, how have you deployed your stuff, mate?
I've just tried to spread my army out a bit and then try and get across the board as quick as I can. Hopefully
Yes.
get some damage.
Yes, well, you want to get across the battlefield because you've picked Stormkeep, haven't you? And that means if Michael can get to an objective with Stormkeep, they basically set to defend on the objectives, which means if you then try and charge the Stormcast while they're on the objective, they can basically zap you with lightning bolts, which I think kind of fits the idea that these Stormcast are reactivating the Stormvaults and the defences for the Stormvaults. Okay, so Stormcast Eternals turn 1. So command points, I'll have 3 command points. Michael will have 2 because he's going first. So Michael, what battle tactic have you chosen?
I'm going to go for intimidate the invaders. Just seems the easiest to go for.
What do you have to do?
I just have to get as many units as I can out of my territory.
Yeah, it's basically more outside of your territory than in, so all he has to essentially do is just move forward out of his territory to get that. That should score him 2 easy points at the start of his game. And then, because we're playing the rules of the like Antorian primal magic, me and Michael both roll a dice now on a 4+. So I did. No, so but we both get a primal dice now. So you add that to your, and you can use that primal dice to add on to a spell or a dispel. But using the primal magic can also result in more powerful miscasts and end up with you blowing yourself up. But you can also guarantee yourself a spell to be cast if you get a double 6 using them. So that's that. And then what heroic action are you going for, Michael?
I think I'm going to go just for a command point.
Yeah, same. So I'm going to try and generate one with blow up, because the only person I can. I don't.
I'm going to try with my Knight Encounter. And I do.
Cool, so you get an extra command point for her to spend. Do you know what spells you're going for?
I'm going to try and empower with my evocators. And
yes.
then I'm going to go for a Mystic Shield with my Encounter.
Okie dokie. Just use that tray, mate, with the Aquila on.
So I need a 6 to empower with my evocators.
Yep.
Goes off.
Yeah, I can't have no wizards near you by you, so I can't stop you.
So I'll give that to evocators, just gives them +1 to the wound rolls.
Yes.
And my Mystic Shield, I'll give to the squad of Vindictors next to it.
Okay, yeah.
And that just goes off.
Okay, at the end of Michael's turn 1, he scored the maximum 5 points he get this turn, because he did his battle tactic of moving his units out of his territory, or more units that are in it. I don't think there's any left in his territory anymore. And he's got 1 objective, then he's got 2 objectives, which gets him 4 points, and then I don't have any, so that means he has more as well. He also controls this one. So he has 1, he has 2, he has more, and he did his battle tactic, which means he gets the full 5. So now it's over to my turn. Okay, so Maggotkin of Nurgle turn 1. I remembered to roll for my Wheel of Fortune, and I rolled Locus of Fecundity, which basically means all of my units count as being within range of a Locust of Fecundity, which basically means instead of them healing 1 wound at the start of the turn, they heal D3. So that's an absolutely terrible one for me to have rolled for now, at the beginning of the game. That one's actually really, really handy to roll a couple of turns later, so everyone can heal back up. But the wheel will turn next turn, and hopefully it'll turn onto something good. My heroic action I'm going to go for, I'm just going to try and generate an extra command point for Blowab, and I do. So I get an extra command point for Blowab. And then Michael, me and you, what heroic action are you going for, mate? Command point?
I'll just go for another command point.
Yep.
And that'll be on guards. Yep.
Yeah, so we both get an extra command point, and then we both roll for the wild dice. No, well, if you roll a 4+, you both get it. So you could potentially get 2 each. So we both get an extra primal dice. I keep calling them wild dice because I think I'm playing Warcry. Okay, so first spell, I'm going to cast Plague Squall. The way it works, if I cast it, I roll 7 dice. For any 6 that I roll, I can put a disease point on any enemy unit I can see. I can see most of them, but you have to roll 6s to do it. I have to cast it first. So, first up, 2 dice, cast on a 6. I haven't done it, so I'm going to have to use my primal dice. Oh, there's already a 1. Don't. I'm not doing it. I daren't. I daren't do it, because if I roll another 1, it'll take D3 plus 3 mortal wounds. I ain't doing that. Okay, end of the Maggotkin movement phase in turn 1. I've chose the same battle tactic as Michael, intimidate the invaders, so move out of my territory. That'll get me 2 points, easy done. The problem I've got is Michael legged it forward and nicked the objectives, which means I'm only really going to be able to score 4 points this turn instead of 5, so Michael will be ahead. He's got 5 models there on that one. My Blight Kings are far too slow to go over there, so we've jumped and nicked this objective here, which wasn't contested by anybody. And then I used a command point to make sure the Plague Bearers moved a full 6 with an advance. So they've moved all the way up and got in range of the objective. So has Bloab. He's also going to vomit on these Annihilators. We've got the Nurglings have appeared. No one knew they were there. They've appeared out of this terrain piece behind Michael's Stormcast here. One last thing to mention is I have generated 5 corruption points. 3 because I had models in my own territory and no enemy models, and then I had a Nal more, so it puts me on 5. Next turn, if the Nurglings are still there, I'll generate an extra 3 on top of that. And once I start generating more corruption points, I can start summoning more Nurgle demons, reinforcements in. So there's not much left for my turn. The Death Heads are out of range on the drones, so all that's in range is the vomit from Bloab's Maggoth beast. He's going to vomit on these Annihilators now. So the Maggoth's Vile Bile, D3 shots, gets 3 shots. I'm going to issue all out attack actually, so I'm down to 2 command points.
All defense.
Of course, this is Sigmar. So that means I hit on a 2+, all hit, and you get 2 disease points on you straight away because I rolled 2 6s to hit, and then to wound, because I'm at full health, is 2s to wound. So that's all 3. Wow. God, you were saying this was going to happen, weren't you?
Yep, and that is what.
So that's -2, but because you've issued all out defense, it will be -1.
So I'll go 3+ save.
Yep. Oh dear.
And only save 1.
The damage is D3, so that's 2d3 damage. So that's 5 damage caused to the Annihilators.
Well, that kills 1.
It leaves
and
1 on 1
on 1 wound.
And he's got the unit has 2 disease points on him as well. That was some absolutely devastating vomit from Bloab there. Wow. So at the end of the turn, Michael has chosen to concede. No, but seriously. I need to roll 2 dice at the end of the turn for the disease points that are on these Annihilators. If I roll a 4 or better, I'll cause a mortal wound. That's 1 mortal wound caused to the Annihilators.
That's 1 final, 1 gone.
So he dies, and then that disease point resets to 1 on the lone Annihilator champion who's just watched his mate just dissolve in vomit like that dude in RoboCop. So the disease points you roll at the start of the Battle Shock phase, which means Michael would now have to test for Battle Shock on his Annihilator, but he's got plenty of command points, so he's just going to automatically pass by spending 1 of his command points to make sure this Annihilator champion doesn't run away. So that means I would end up with 4 points there, so I'm 1 point behind, and then we've got the priority roll. The dreaded, it's a dreaded double turn going to turn up. I get a 1.
And I'm going first.
So Stormcast Eternals will be going first in turn 2. Okay, so Stormcast Eternals turn 2. I have chosen, because I'm going second in this game, this battle round should I say, I've chosen to disrupt the command phase. So if Michael ends up in combat and tries to issue any commands on a 3+, that will cost him an extra command point to issue. So, Michael, what battle tactic have you chose to go for?
I'm going to take magical dominance.
Yes, so what have you got to do?
So I've got to cast a spell and make sure it's not empowered by the enemy.
Yeah.
Get that?
Yeah. So basically, you've only got 1 wizard with 1 spell. So as long as she casts it, and blow-up doesn't stop it. Oh no, you've got them as well. I keep forgetting. They're wizards on the battle cats. So yeah, you've got 2 chances to do it actually. And there's no wizards near them, won't bind that either. So yeah, it's a good shout that one. You get yourself 2 points for that. But we need to roll for a couple of things. So you got your heroic action, you're going to try and generate a command point.
I am.
Who for?
That is going to be my knight cannon.
Shit, right, okay. I'm going to try and generate one with blow-up. I do, so I get an extra command point for blow-up. And then we both have to roll for the primal dice on a 4+. Oh, there you go. We've both got 2 extra primal magic dice. So Michael, he's only got 2 command points and he's going to spend one of them to rally his annihilators. So it costs him 1 CP, and then you roll for both the annihilators that are gone, and if he rolls a 6, one of them will return. If he rolls double 6, both of them are back. No, they don't want to come, they're still melting. So, spell time, isn't it? Do you know what you want to cast?
So, I'm going to empower the Draculans again.
Yep.
So on 6s. And that fails.
But you could use a wild dice, a primal dice to add to that if you wanted to. Just bear in mind you've rolled a 1, and if you roll another 1, you'll take loads of mortal wounds.
I'll risk it.
Oh!
So I'm going to use 1. Oh well.
You take D3 plus 3 mortal wounds. You take
So
4 mortal wounds on the squad.
Yep.
The Knight Incantor now.
I'm going to try and Mystic Shield the squad again with the Knight Incantor.
Okay.
Does it go off?
No, I don't believe so. No, yeah, it casts on a 5, but are you going to...
I've got a free reroll.
Yes, I'll definitely, yeah. The upgrade you got for her was a reroll.
Yep. And it still doesn't go off.
You're going to have to use that primal dice, aren't you? So you got so that's 9 in total.
Yep.
So because of your battle tactic, I'm going to try and stop you. So blow-up's going to try and stop you. So you rolled a 9, yeah?
Yep.
So I need to get a 10. I got a 9, so I'm going to use a primal dice. And I got a 4, so it means I've managed to stop you, which means I've stopped that spell and I've stopped you achieving your battle tactics. That means you've now already down by 2 points, which means you're going to have to go for 1 objective, 2 objectives, and more objectives than me. Okay, so turn 2, Stormcast movement phase. We've got this Annihilator who fancies taking on Blow-Ab. He's some boy, wishing him the best of luck. Then we've got the Plague Bearers redeployed when the Vindictors came towards them. I only rolled a 2, so I've moved a little bit further away, a bit nervous, don't want to get stabbed to death. So Gardas, the Incantor, and the Vindictors have secured that objective there between these 2 Stormvaults. This unit of 5 have moved up on the top of this Stormvault, ready to engage the Plague Drones. The Evocators have moved up and secured this objective, but I think they fancy having a monster on monster fight with the big flies, and then the Sequitors over here have secured that objective. So there's only one bit of shooting to do, and that is Gardas with his fancy cloak of hammers. So he flings a load of magical hammers out from his cloak. So he's going to shoot at the Plague Bearers, yeah?
Yep. So D6 attacks for 2.
Yeah.
And that is 3s and 3s. So 1 hits.
Yeah.
1 wound at -1.
Yeah, because...
1
wait.
damage.
Oh wait, they've got a 5+ ward save because I'm Nurgle. Yeah, so he caused a wound to a Plague Bearer. Okay, charges. Now, Michael's going to roll his charge for his Annihilator. Now, the Annihilator's special rule is that they cause mortal wounds when they charge in. And the way you do that is basically whatever you rolled is how many dice you roll to try and inflict mortal wounds. So, ideally, in an ideal world, Michael now wants to roll a 12. Not 9 though, decent, so that means he'll be rolling 9 dice, and any 6 that he rolls will be a mortal wound caused to, I assume you're going into blow-up.
Yep.
Yep, so any 6, normally it's a 4, because 2 of them are, oh nice.
There's 3 more.
3 mortal wounds as he charges in, full of lightning. Go. So that'll be 3 ward saves for blow-up. Needs to roll a 5 or a 6 to Nurgle. He stops one of them, so Bloab is down to 11 wounds. Next up, the Vindictors charging down at the Plague Bearers. They need to get an 8. No, they fail that.
I'm not going to bother re-rolling.
Okay, because you only got 1 command point left.
So we're going to go straight to the Evocators.
Oh, the Evocators, yeah.
We get a free re-roll because of the Dragons.
Okay, yeah, so see what they get. Easy. Okay, because Bloab is riding a Maggoth beast, which is a monster, at the end of the charge phase it gets to pick a monstrous rampage. It's going to choose to do Stomp, so it's going to try and stomp on this Annihilator. I roll a dice on a 2+. You take D3 mortal wounds on your Annihilator. Just the one. So 1 mortal wound caused to the Annihilator. So we believe Michael's going to start his combat phase with the Evocators battling against the Plague Drones here.
So I'm hitting on freeze and wounding on freeze.
Okay. Wounded on freeze yet? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm glad I used all that defense.
So 2, 4, 10 wounds.
Okay. That was just the attacks from the actual Evocators. I don't know if they're called Evocators or Evocators. So you call them Evocators, I'll call them Evocators, and then one of us is right.
Yeah.
Cool, we'll stick to that. So, the -1 rend, but I used all out defense, so it cancels it out. So I'm on my normal save of a 5+. So I make 3 of them, and then I've got 7 ward saves. So I only make 1 of those, so I lose 6 wounds straight off the bat. So that's 1 of the drones dead, and another one with 4 wounds left. It's time for the big battle cats.
So we've got 9 attacks from the Draclins, freeze and freeze again, -1 rend.
Okay. Nice.
So we've got
4.
4 -1.
4 -1, so again I'm on 5s. So I stop only 1 of them, so that's going to be 3d3 damage caused.
And that is 7 damage.
7 ward saves. 5s and 6s for the ward save. So that takes another 5 wounds, so that kills off another full drone, leaving only 1 drone left with 4 wounds. I thought I'd managed to survive their attacks, but I forgot about the Evocators' celestial lightning arc that they do once they're finished attacking. So they pick 1 unit within 3 inches of them, and then they roll 3 dice for every model in their own unit, so there's 3 of them, so that'll be 9 dice. And what do you need to roll to cause mortal wounds?
I need 4 pluses.
Okay, so to kill him, you need at least 4, but because I'm a ward save, ideally you want to get more than 4. Well done.
So that's 5.
So, 5 ward saves for this plague drone. I need to make 2. I need 2 5s or 6s. Come on. Oh! No!
Yay!
So he's managed to absolutely wipe all of my drones out in one go with those. I regret painting them for you now. Okay, I'm gonna have to do something back after that. What just happened over there? What I'm thinking about doing is summoning a new unit of drones in soon, once I've got enough corruption points. But in the time being, I'm gonna have my Maggoth Beast smash this Annihilator champion to pieces. So the Maggoth Beast's monstrous claws, 5 attacks. So that's disease point and 3 hits. And then wounded on you on 2. So that's 3 wounds at -2.
So that puts me up 4+. And he saves them all.
Oh, great. Great stuff. So looks like Harvestman's Scythe instead's going to have to do it. So that's going to be Bloab's Scythe. He hit and gives you 2 more disease points. He wounds on a 3+. Oh, he didn't do any. Oh my god, what? Right, great. Fantastic. Right, the Annihilator, who's moved on the side of the Maggoth Beast so he didn't drag the Plague Bearers into combat with him. Why is he still alive? Why is he still alive? Great. Go on.
Because he's my champion, he gets an extra attack, putting him at 4s. So
Yeah.
hitting on 3s, wound on 2s.
3s and 2s, is it?
No, that's the wrong one.
You're
3s
looking
and
at grand
3s.
hammers, aren't you?
Yep. Yes, so 3 hit. And 2 wounds.
-1. So I stop them both. Okay, so into the battle shock phase. This Annihilator champion, who for some reason is still here. He's got 2 wounds left, but he has 5 disease points on him. So, die! Yeah, I got him with a disease. But because he's in combat, and he's a Stormcast, and he's wearing Thunderstrike armour, you get to see if you can zap me with some lightning bolts on your way out.
So I've got his Thunderstrike, he gets an extra dice, so 4 dice.
Any 6s are mortal wounds.
So 1 mortal.
So he causes a mortal wound on the way out to Bloab. Bloab makes his ward save. So at the end of Michael's turn 2, he scored 3 points because he has 1 objective, then he has 2 objectives, he also has that objective. I only have 1, which means he has 1, 2 and more, so that gets him 3 points. Obviously I stopped him from achieving his battle tactic by stopping his spellcaster. So that's the end of Michael's turn 2, so it's over to the Maggotkin turn 2. Okay, Maggotkin of Nurgle turn 2. The battle tactic I've chosen is lead into the Maelstrom. So I've got to charge a hero and 1 battle line unit into combat, and then at the end of the turn still be within 3 inches of an enemy unit with at least 1 of those units. So that means Bloab has to make a charge this turn into those Vindictors, and then either the Plague Bearers or the Blight Kings have to make a charge and still be within combat at the end. So that's what I'm going for that. My Wheel of Fortune, the cycle of corruption, is roll a dice for the turn, and on a 4+ I get an extra corruption point. So I generate 2 extra corruption points. That actually puts me to 16 corruption points. Because I've got an Nurgle in my own territory, there's no enemies. I've got the Nurglings over in the enemy territory with no enemies in that territory either. So I'm now on 16 corruption points, which is almost enough to summon another unit of plague drones, because they're 18 corruption points to get them. So next turn, you fellas are going to have to fight another unit of plague drones once they get summoned in. So, heroic actions wise, I am going to try and get an extra command point for Bloab on a 4+. Nope, he doesn't get it. What about you, Michael? What heroic action are you going for?
I'll try and hit the command point with my Knight Encounter.
Nope. And then we've got Primal Dice on a 4+. Yep, so we both get 2 Primal Dice each. So, Bloab is going to cast the spell that's on his War Scroll, Miasma of Pestilence. It won't actually do anything straight away, but if he successfully casts it, in any phase, at the end of any phase, if a unit that got this sort of hex put on them, if they suffer any damage in that phase, they'll suffer an additional D3 mortal wounds as they rot away from the miasma. It's cast on a 6. Bloab gets +1 to rolls. Michael is prepping that Dispel Scroll, I know he is, so I need to roll a double 6, I believe. So I've rolled a 7. Do I use a Primal Dice? No, I'm not going to. Michael, are you going to use a Dispel Scroll by any chance? Or are you going to try and stop it?
I'll possibly just try and stop it if he stays at 7.
Go on. Let's use a Primal Dice. Don't roll a 1, roll a 6. Come on. Nope, that'll do. I'll settle at that.
Right, so I'll use a scroll.
Damn! Damn you, vile woman. But she can only do that once. Okay, Maggotkin movement phase, turn 2. The Plague Bearers issued a command, so they will move the full 6 inches and get out of the way of my Maggoth Lord. He's gone for these Vindictors between these Stormvaults. He's going to vomit on them first. We've got the cheeky little Nurglings have advanced as well. Managed to roll a 6, so they've got right up in the rear. Right up in the rear. Poke them. And then we've got the Putrid Blight Kings. They've moved forward. They're going to attempt to charge into the Sequitors. If they do that and they're still in combat with them at the end of the turn, I'll achieve my battle tactic. Or if Blowout makes his charge and he's still in combat with the Vindictors, then I'll have my battle tactic done. I won't be able to take all the objectives though, not in this turn. So I need to achieve my battle tactic really to stay in the game points wise. So first it'll be some shooting from Blowout into those Vindictors in front of him. It'll be D3 shots. He only gets the one shot. Hit. Wounded. -2.
So their freeze goes to a 5.
Yep.
Nope.
So that is 3 damage, I believe. No, it's D3. 3.
So because of Guidus, they get 5 plus ward.
Yes.
And they save 1.
So one of the Vindictors gets melted by vomit. Blech. And while we're here, might as well roll for his charge. So, blow up his charge. He's definitely in. Roll a 12. And then charge for the Blight Kings. They rolled a 9, so they'll be in as well. Okay, because Michael has picked, what's it called? Stormkeep. When a Stormcast unit controls an objective and then you charge them, they basically activate their defensive lightning powers and zap you on the way in. So you're going to roll to see if you zap my Blight Kings first, yeah?
Yep. So D3.
So it's 1 mortal wound caused to them. See if I make my ward save. I do not, so one of the Blight Kings is wounded. And then you do the same against Blowout. Yes, you zap him for 3 mortal wounds. Nice. So 5 or a 6 ward save. Yes, you take 3 wounds off Blowout on the way in, leaving him with only 9 wounds left. Nasty. But he gets to do his... He's going to do a stomp at the start, at the end of the movement. Sorry, he's going to stomp at the end of the charge phase on a 2+. Yep, causing D3 mortal wounds to the Vindictors. Which causes 3 mortal wounds to the Vindictors.
So that ward save again.
Yes.
He saves not.
So he stomps another one to death. Okay, because that Stormcast Eternal died within 3 inches of an enemy model, and he's a Hallowed Knight on a 4+, he'll still get to attack, yeah?
Yep. And he doesn't.
He doesn't get to attack. Now, the first combat I'm going to go for is not blow up. I'm actually going to pick my Putrid Blight Kings to attack first. And I am going to issue all-out attack to them as well. You
and I'll pour it into their shield so they get a 5+ save.
Are you going to all-out defense them as well?
All-out defense.
Of course, this is Sigmar. So, I've got 25 attacks that hit on a 2. Okay, so that was 23 hits out of 25 attacks. Now to wound is a 3+. Okay, so that was 15 wounds at -1, but Michael has empowered his shields for a 5+ ward and gone all-out defense for +1 armor save. So it's going to be 4+ armor save followed by 5+ wards.
Done pretty bad. +ward.
Oh dear. So you lose 1, 2, 3, 3.5 Stormcast die. So it just leaves the champion and 1 Sequitor left battling the Blight Kings. And they've already got 6 disease points on them. And at the end of the fight phase they'll get the maximum 7 disease points put onto them. And the Blight Kings will do their relentless attackers rule, where they vomit all over you. Next up, the Vindictors are going to stab up and try and kill Blowout on his Maggotkin beast. He's only got 9 wounds left.
So these are 3s and 3s, but on 6s they cause automatic mortal wounds.
Yep.
So
2 mortal wounds.
2 mortals, and
2
so
hits.
that ends. And then 3s again. 1 at -1.
1 at -1, so his armour save of a 5+, she fails, so that'll be 3 ward saves, including the 2 mortal wounds. Nope, he takes 3 wounds, so he's down to 6 now. So next up is going to be Blowout attacking back, but because he's now only got 6 wounds left, I'm going to have to check his stat line to see how bracketed his attacks are. Because in Age of Sigmar, your monsters slowly become less powerful as they get injured and get chopped down. So Blowout, because he's suffered 7 wounds in total, his monstrous claws on his Maggotkin beast now only have 4 attacks. which hit 3 times and put a disease marker on you, and on a 2+. So that's 2 wounds at -2 damage free.
So the 5s.
So that's 3 damage to the unit.
And we've got the ward from Gardas. We take 2.
Yeah, so it kills off 1 Stormcast and injures another. Bloab himself up on top with his scythe. 3 attacks, hitting on freeze, wound on freeze. So that's 2 hits. 2 wounds, -1 damage 2.
So 4s.
Yeah, so that's 4 damage.
5s. Yep.
So he kills the unit. Do the attacking before they go down?
I'll do my standard bearer. He does.
Yeah.
1 hit.
Yeah.
1 wound.
Okay, need to roll 5 or a 6. Then another 5 or a 6. He's fine.
Then the captain. Nope, he just dies.
And then you get to explode. That's 1 mortal wound. Need to roll 5 or a 6 for a ward save. Nope, so another lightning bolt hits and below, but leaving him on 5 wounds left at the end of that combat. Which actually presents a bit of an issue, actually, because if I end up killing... Oh no, right, I've done too well. Right, so if these 2 Sequitors now die to the Relentless Attackers rule from the Blight Kings, or they die to the disease, I'll actually fail my battle tactic because I was supposed to still be in combat with somebody at the end of the turn. So they've like overperformed and going to stop me from scoring points, which will keep Michael in the game. So yeah, that actually didn't turn out how I intended. Whoops. You know, Michael's just used his last command point to do his holy command for his Stormcast, which was he can bring back a, is it Redeemer unit or a Battle Line unit?
Yep,
Redeemer unit. So those 5 Vindictors that I've just killed, it might be them reforged rather quickly, or it's a brand new unit of Vindictors have arrived, summoned by Gardas Steel Soul to join the fray. And then we've got Michael's next combat will be his Sequitors attacking over here.
So I'll have 5 attacks because of my
Let's roll them in the tray.
general. Hitting on freeze, wounding on freeze.
Yep.
3 at -1.
3 monsters, 5 and 6s. Stop 2 of them.
2 damage.
2 damage, 2 ward saves. I make 1 of them, so that means there's a blanking on 2 wounds left. Okay, it's not very often that you actually wish for really bad dice rolls, but there's the extra disease point that they get at the end of the combat phase. So, I now need to roll for Relentless Attackers for my Blight Kings. You roll a dice for each one of them. If you roll over the wounds characteristic of the people you're in combat with, so that would be rolling over a 2. So I've got 5 Blight Kings. The wounds characteristic of the Sequitors is 2. So if I roll a 3 or higher, that's a mortal wound caused by the Blight Kings vomiting on them at the end of the fight. Yes! Yes! Bad run. Hooray for bad dice rolls. So I cause 1 mortal wound to your Sequitors. Yeah. So he blows up.
So he gets 2 because he doesn't have the Thunder Strike.
Yes.
1 mortal.
Yep, okay. See if I stop it on a 5 or a 6. I don't, so that Blight King over there's on 1 wound left.
Then because he died within 3 inch.
He can attack on a 4+, yeah.
4.
Yeah, he does.
So 1 hit.
Yeah.
1 wound.
-1. Yeah, 2 damage is that. Yeah, so he kills off that Blight King. Now, normally they would the Blight Kings, because the Blessed Sons would explode into a big fart, but you're already at maximum 7. He's already at maximum 7. You can't put more than 7 disease points, 7 being the number of Nurgle. So this Blight King dies, and then the one next to him is on 3 wounds. And now I've got to roll the disease. I've got to roll the disease rolls on this Sequitor champion and not kill him so I can achieve my battle tactic. So I need to roll really badly again. Okay, so 7 disease rolls for that Sequitor champion. On a 4+, he takes a mortal wound. He only has 2 wounds. So I need to not roll any 4s, really.
Roll 2. And he's dead.
He's dead. And I fail my battle tactic. Great. Okay, at the end of turn 2, I didn't do my battle tactic. Get out of here! So I only scored 2 points because I have this objective here. I don't have this one here because there's more Stormcast on it, and blow up only counts as 5 models. These ridiculously hard battle cat fellas are holding this objective, and my overperforming Blight Kings are on this one. So I have 1 objective, I have 2 objectives, so that's it, I score 2 points. So that's taken us into turn 3. And in turn 3, all of the Stormcast are going to count as free models on objectives. Well, your Redeemer units, right?
Yeah.
So they're digging the heels in. Obviously some reinforcements have turned up there from the Stormcast, but I have got 16 corruption points, and as soon as I get to my next turn, I'm going to have enough points to summon in a new unit. But I can only do that in my own turn, so ideally I want to win this roll-off for priority in this turn 3. So, Michael, do us a favour and roll low, please.
You roll 1.
I've rolled a 6.
But I can tie. Oh.
No, it's Maggotkin going first in turn 3. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, so Maggotkin of Nurgle, turn 3. So, my battle tactic I'm going to go for is this one I've just found on the Sigmar app, which isn't in my book. It's called Don't Squabble Children, which basically means I've got to have a demon unit and a Rockbringer mortal unit contesting an objective. So the idea is I'm thinking about getting Bloab and the Plague Bearers to contest an objective and get me that battle tactic. My Wheel of Fortune has turned to basically what this one does is it stops enemy units from doing heroic actions, rallies or inspiring presence, which is quite a bad debuff for Michael to have this turn. I've done my corruption points. I'm now on 21 points because I believe that the Nalmor counts, it says it counts as a Maggotkin of Nurgle unit, so it's within my territory, so that's generated me 5 points, putting me on 21. So at the end of my movement phase I am going to summon in 3 plague drones, the big flies. I've got 2 command points and my heroic action. Michael can't pick one this turn because of the wheel. I am going to do heroic recovery with Bloab because he's only got 6. He's got 6 wounds. He did have 5, but he's healed 1 because he's Nurgle. So is one of the Blight Kings over there. Has healed up a wound because he's Nurgle. But if I roll equal to his leadership of 9, he'll heal a wound. If I roll under his leadership, his bravery should I say, I think about 40k, he'll heal D3 wounds. So ideally I want to get less than a 9. Yeah, I did a rolled an 8, which means Bloab will heal 2 wounds back, putting him on 8 wounds. Great. But we both need to roll for primal dice. I didn't generate any primal dice. Neither did you, Michael. Because Michael is going second this turn, and we're playing in the Antorian rules, he gets to cast an extra spell with his Antorian Locust, which is her. She gets to now cast another spell this turn because of that. I couldn't do that when I was going second because it says only non-unique heroes, and Bloab is a named unique hero. So we're going to have Bloab. Bloab is actually just going to cast Mystic Shield on himself for a bit of extra protection. He's done it on a 9 because he gets +1 to casting.
Try to dispel it. I don't, but I don't get a re-roll.
Oh. No. So Mystic Shield onto Bloab. Okay, so Maggotkin turn 3 movement phase. You might notice there's now 3 plague drones on the battlefield. That's because I've spent 18 of my 18 minus 21. That leaves me 3, not 1, not 2. Quick math. Anyway, I spent 18 corruption points to summon in a new unit of 3 plague drones. They have to be within 7 inches of a hero or a Nalmor, so Bloab has summoned him in behind him. Rest of my movement. So my Plague Bearers basically got out of the way because I knew I was going to be summoning the drones. They are going to charge down alongside the Storm Vault with Bloab into Guard of Steel Soul and the Knight Incantor. And their pincer movement, the Nurglings are also behind as well to basically get involved and be annoying. Over here, Michael used a command point to redeploy the Evocators away from the Blight Kings. So now the Blight Kings would need a 9-inch charge to reach the Evocators. One of the Evocators only has 1 wound, see, so he's playing it safe, keeping them away in my turn. Don't really fancy going for the long-bound charge. Need to save the CP for Bloab and these charges around here, especially these Plague Bearers, because I need to get that battle tactic. Don't squabble children on this objective. I'm going for it on this objective. So I want the Nurglings, I want the Plague Bearers, and I want Bloab on that objective contesting it, and I don't want them squabbling. So that's my movement. That's my play I'm going for. So over to shooting phase, Bloab is going to vomit on these Vindictors because they count as free models for the purposes of contesting an objective, so I need rid of them. So they're going to get vomited on. So, D3 shots from Bloab. Big 3. Hits on a 3. 2 hits. Wounds on a 3 when he's injured, I believe. So that's just... What's this? Oh, yeah, 3 is just 1, mate. -2.
So on 5s.
Nope. It's going to be D3 damage. 2 damage.
5 ward.
Yep.
So
just injure one of the Vindictors up on top of that Storm Vault. So, the Plague Bearers charging into Guard of Steel Soul. They need to roll a 7. It's Nurgle's number, so how could they fail? There you go. They're in. That's them in. Bloab now charging in to the Knight Incantor. You think you were funny with that Dispel Scroll, did you? Well, 5 inches there, that'll be enough. And then, round the back, the Nurglings. Yeah, they're in as well. I'm going to stomp on that Knight Incantor's head with my Maggotkin Beast on a 2+. Yep, you take 3 mortal wounds.
Because of Vandus.
She takes 2 mortal wounds. Yep. Okay, so strangely, I'm actually going to start combat with my Nurglings because they're the ones who are in combat with the Vindictors, and they have got the extra command, the extra, count as extra models against the objective. So I'd like to get rid of them. One's on 1 wound. Nurglings have 5 attacks each, so I could put some disease points on them. So I'm actually going to issue all-out attack on them as well. From I have to roll a dice for that because you've disrupted the thing. Anyway, I'm still going to do it. So I'm going to issue all-out attack from Bloab onto the Nurglings. So you're +1 to hit, but I've got to roll a 3+ to actually only cost 1 CP. It does. Oh no, it's going to cost 2 CP to do it. No, I'm going to keep. No, I'm not. I'm keeping the CP. So they don't have all-out attack, but they still have 15 attack. So that was 5 hits and 3 disease points. 5s to wounds, so that's 3 armour saves for the Vindictors.
So 3+.
Yep, so they take down that Vindictor. Does he attack back?
And then, but with...
you've got a ward save, looking at a ward save, haven't you? He doesn't even die, because Gardas was like, no. Don't at me in the comments for making my Nurglings go first. It seemed like a good idea at the time. So, this is given an opportunity as Bloab was shouting at the Nurglings. Now, the Knight Incantor, she's going to try and strike down Bloab. He's got 8 wounds. She's got the vial of Manticore venom. So is that a vial that she puts on a weapon, or does she drink it or something?
She puts it on her staff.
She puts it on her staff.
So that gives a +1 to her wound rolls. So she's hit on 3s, wound on 2s.
Oh dear.
2 wound.
Yeah, what's the minus?
That's -1.
-1. He's got a 4+ save and Mystic Shield, so it's going to be a 4+ save. Both go through. What's the damage?
2 damage each.
Ooh, 5 at ward. Oh, wow. She's done 4 wounds off blow up. Whoops. Oh, that didn't go very well. Anyway, I'm panicking now, so I'm going to have to have blow up attack because she's just put them down to 4 wounds. And some of these Vindictors, when they pile in, they could start stabbing across over into him and potentially, if he rolled well enough, kill him. So we can't be having that. So, blow up before he either dies or bounces from this fight. He's going to try and kill this Knight Incantor, the bane of his life. So it's time to get some monstrous claws wrapped around her head.
She's going to all out defence.
Oh, she's going to all out defence. So, the Maggotkin beast, 4 attacks from its monstrous claws, 3s, then 2s. So that's all hit her, then 2s. That's 3 wounds on her at -2. So it'll be so essentially be -1.
So she's back to her 3s.
Back to 3s. No, it's -2. So you'll be on a 4.
No. So 1 went through.
3 damage.
Then because of guards.
She's alive on a wound. Oh wait, does she attack when she dies? No, is that just Redeemer units?
That's guards.
Okay, so we got the Scythe from Blowab. Freeze and freeze. So hit her 3 times. Wounded her twice, so she will have a 3+ save against these. So she takes 2 damage from that. She's died. But she'll explode on the way out.
Yep.
That could be mortal wounds off him as well.
And it's going into him.
Of course.
So she's got 5 wounds. Looking for 6s.
What a mortal wound off Blowab, unless he rolls a 5 or a 6. Nope, he's down to 3 wounds now. It's now looking a little bit easier for these Vindictors to kill him. Whoops. Okay, so, I mean, you can correct us in the comments, but piling move for Gardas. Gardas is now, because the space is opened up by the Incantor dying, he's now moved into base contact with Blowab as well. Now, piling says as long as you don't end up further away than the unit you're in, as long as you don't end up further away from the enemy unit. So he was in base contact with this champion, and he still is. He's just moved around, and now he's in contact with Blowab as well. So I don't see him being any further away. He's the same distance. He's still in base contact. He's just now in base contact with 2 units instead. So if you ask me, it seems like it's fine. And plus, he gets to do something heroic and possibly kill Blowab. So you're going to be doing
all-out attack.
Okay, so I'm going to have to issue all-out defense onto Blowab, but because you've disrupted the lines of communication with this mission, I have to roll a 1 or a 2 from only cost 1. Oh, right, I can't do it. I've got no CP left either, so I've got my Mystic Shield, but I've only got 3 wounds left. So what does Gardas do?
So I've got 5 attacks.
Oh, hang on. Hang on. Blowab's rule I said I was going to remember. On a 4+, you get -1 to hit. Damn! I rolled a 3. And on a 4+, you get -1 to hit on your Vindictors as well. Damn. Anyway, back to you.
Welcome to the life. So, I've got 5 attacks with Gardas, but all attack I'm hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s. Could have done better. Only 2 at -1.
2 at -1, I've got Mystic Shield, so that's ignored, so they cancel each other out, so it's a 4+ save, yeah? He's alive! Hooray! Okay, so next up, the Plague Bearers have piled into Gardas. There's only 4 that have been in combat with him, though, and 1's the champion, so that'll be 5 attacks onto him, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. No disease points and only 1 hit. Wounded him though. There's actually no rend on their weapon, so
3+. Saved.
Okay, over here the Vindictors have piled in and they're going to strike across into Blowab. They're at a good height there to stab him instead of his Maggotkin beast. Obviously they're defending their shrine of the god Sigmar, and then so that's the champion and this Vindictor are going to attack Blowab, and then these other 3 Vindictors are going to stab into the Nurglings. So you're going to do the attacks on the Nurglings first, yeah?
Yep. So 3s on 3s, but we're looking for 6s.
Yes.
So there's 1 mortal. Missed 1. And 2 at -1.
Okay. So you said the -1, so they all go straight through. So it was 3 in total, was it?
Yep.
So 5s and 6s. Yeah, you caused 2 wounds to a Nurgling base.
Yep. And hit your hero.
This is where you want all the 6s, isn't it?
Yep.
No.
No.
But you hit him 4 times though, he's only got 3 wounds. No.
That's not enough.
No, he's a tough boy. -1, but I've got Mystic Shield to be a 4+. Yeah, it just bounces off his tough hide. Okay, so that's the end of the combat phase, so now I need to roll in the start of the battle shock phase for the disease points. There's 4 disease points on these Vindictors, so 4+ for a mortal wound. Just the 1.
God is coming in. Yep.
Nope, so one of them dies, and then there's just 1 disease point on Gardas. He takes a mortal wound, or does he?
5+.
No, he's too faithful for that. Okay, the end of turn 3 for the Maggotkin. I managed to get the big 5 because in this combat here, Michael has 4 Vindictors who count as 3 models each, that's 12. Then he's got Gardas who counts as 2. And then I added it up, I've got 3 Nurgling bases, 7 Plague Bearers in range, that put me at 10, and then Blow-Up counts as 5, which means I captured that objective by 1 point, so that one's mine. I also have this one because there's a drone in range of it, and the sticky objectives in Sigmar. I even remember sticky, they're all sticky. Anyway, and I have this objective, so I've got 1, 2 and more on the objectives, and my battle tactic was don't squibble children, or squabble, and I've got a Rockbringer unit and a Demon unit contesting this objective. So that's the big 5, which puts me just ahead in points. I'm on 11, Michael's on 8, but it's now over to Michael's turn 3. Turn 3 for the Stormcast Eternals. Battle tactic is picked as reprisal, which basically means you have to kill the unit that killed your general earlier in the battle. So Michael's general was the Knight Incantor, who's now flat. So Blow-Up is the target for reprisal. He's only got 3 wounds left, so if he dies this turn, that's 2 victory points for the Stormcast. So, Michael, what have you decided to do for that?
I'm going to try and get round with my evokers.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to charge in with my squad of Vindictors at the back, get bodies on it, try and take it out.
And
Gardas
is going to scream only the faithful.
Yep.
Because that's his special thing you get to do once a game, give everyone extra attacks. Is it everyone gets extra attacks near him?
Only hero models.
Alright, okay, well, sounds like a good thing for him to do anyway. So because of that, my heroic action, I've put Finest Hour on Blow-Up, so he's now got Finest Hour and Mystic Shield. Hopefully that'll be enough to save him, he's only got 3 wounds left. So, you can't do any heroic actions because of the Nurgle thing that's affecting you from the cycle of corruption. So all we need to roll for is the primal dice. So primal on a 4+. Primal! No. Just Liver King just smashes through the wall in Raw House. So you're going to try and empower the Dracolions?
Yep. So I need a 6. Get it on a 9.
Yep. So I will try and oh, actually you don't, you get it on an 8 because you're near Blow-Up and he's got his bells. So Blow-Up has to roll a 9 to stop you. He did not. So the Dracolions are now empowered, so they're wound on a 2+ now. Okay, so Stormcast Eternals turn 3 movement phase. The Evocators have run up on top of this Storm Vault, so they come round the back and claw down this Maggotkin beast. Vindictors are still stuck in combat. Gardas is still surrounded by smelly boys. The other unit of Vindictors have moved up, ready to charge in and help out. My kings are too fat and slow to catch up with anybody. So, shooting phase. That means Gardas will get to shoot with his Cloak of Hammers. And I've also got to roll for Blow-Up's cloud of flies around him, which will affect the Evocators. the Vindictors and Gardas himself. But do your shooting first.
Yep, so...
Oh wait, no, I think I do my thing first. At the start. Yeah, so I roll for you first, because you get -1 to hit. So Gardas on a 4+. Nope, your Vindictors. Nope, oh, come on, just the Evocators, because you've got 1 wound on it. Yes, so you take a mortal wound on an Evocator, but you'll get, does Gardas give the 5+ ward?
Save 12. Yep.
No. So that Evocator actually dies as flies rip her eyeballs out. But now Gardas can do his shooting attack and he's not impeded by the flies.
I'm going to go into the big guy.
Of course.
D6 for 4.
Yep.
And it is freeze and freeze.
Hammer cloak.
All of them.
Hammer cloak. Hammer cloak.
So
nice.
3 at -1.
3 at -1. So I've got Mystic Shield and Finest Hour, so I've essentially got +2 to my armour. So I'm going to be on +1, so I'm on a 3+ save. How many was it? 3?
Yep.
Oh. 3 pluses, so he takes a wound, but he's Nurgle, so he'll go to 5 at ward. No, he's down to 2 wounds. Hammer cloaked. Charge phase, so the Vindictors are going to charge in.
6 will do, don't need a 5.
Yep. They're going to roll for the Evocators.
Yep.
They can re-roll as well. 6 should be enough. Okay, yeah, so I decided to go for it. So the Evocators are about to try and strike down Blowout, and I need to protect him. So I'm going to, with my last command point, I'm going to unleash hell with the plague drones. I'm going to throw death heads at the Evocators. If I roll well enough, I might be able to take some wounds off, and then Blowout might be able to stomp one of them at the start of the combat phase and maybe kill another. If not, at least I'll put some disease points on them. So normally, the way death heads work is you get a number of shots equal to how many models are in the unit. So there's only 2, so I get 2 shots each. That's up to a maximum of 7 each. So there's 3 drones, 2 shots each, hitting on 4s because it's a -1. But ideally I'd like to roll 6 6s, that'd be super. I've got 2 6s, that's 2 disease points and 4 hits in total. Leaves wound on a 3. That's 2 wounds, no minus.
4s.
So cause a wound, but they near Gardas, so you've got a ward save. No, so that does nothing, but I put 2 disease points at least onto the Evocators there, because the death heads splatter off them. I'm just going to stomp the Evocators on a 2+. Yep, D3. 2 mortal wounds to the Evocators. Oh, only the faithful. Nothing stopping these Evocators from taking out this Maggotkin. So, you got your dice ready there, Michael?
Yep.
Yep, so it's time to tear this Maggotkin a new one.
So, because we're empowered, we're hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s.
Ooh, lordy.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
2s. So there's 5 at -1.
5 at -1. I've got Finest Hour and Mystic Shield on the Maggotkin on Blowabs, so that's going to be a 3+ save. He's laughed it off. He's laughed it off. You have to do better than that.
So the Dracula's turn.
Wow.
That's 6. Same again, 3s and 2s.
Yep. These ones do D3 damage as well. Ooh.
5.
Another 5. -1 again, yeah?
Yep.
So freeze. Oh no. That's 2 get through. That's 2D. Oh, that's 5 damage. That's 5 damage. I only have 2 wounds left, so I have to. With these ward saves, I have to make 4 of them on a 5+. Oh, he's dead. No. So that means you get your battle tactic, you kill my general, and you get rid of my monster. Well played, Michael, well played. But he is a blessed sun, which means he explodes into a giant fart cloud. So I'll roll for that now. So as Lord dies, I'm going to roll the 13 dice to see if I can put any... I'm going to pick the evocators to see if I can put disease points on them as he goes down. So 13 dice, any 6s will be more disease points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. 4 more disease points onto the evocators. Die! Okay, so my turn to attack back. The plague bearers have opted to attack. They've piled in and surrounded Gardus. Gardus is still at full wound, he's still at 6. So ideally I want to maybe take a couple of wounds off him now and then have him die from disease points. So 9 attacks. Oh, nice. That's 4 disease points on him. And 3 wounds. No minus.
So freeze.
Nice, 2 wounds to him. He's got his ward save.
5s.
Oh, so faithful. So I just remembered about Bloab's fly's ability for -1 to hit. So I rolled for the 4 units in combat and failed on all of them, so it was clearly meant to be. So no one got affected by any of the flies. So Michael decided to attack with these Vindictors who were attacking down at the Nurglings. So over to you.
So, freeze and freeze, looking for 6s.
Yes.
So there's 2 mortals.
Mm-hmm.
And
6 in
4
total.
management.
Yeah, the minus goes straight through their armour, so it's all straight onto the ward saves. So that is 3 wounds go through, so a base is down to 1 wound. So a Nurgle base left on 1 wound. They are now going to attack back into these Vindictors up on the top of this Storm Vault. It's going to be 15 attacks back. 15 Nurgling attacks, hitting on 5s, wounding on 5s, but ideally you want to get the 6s for the disease points. I only get 1 6, no good. 5 hits though, 5s to wound. Oh nice, 4 wounds, no rend.
Looking for freeze.
Nice,
2
2 wounds, 2 ward saves. Whoa, saved every ward save. That chant from Gardus is obviously it's done something. One of them will die, but I did do 2 disease points to the unit. Lastly, we've got these 5 Vindictors now.
Again, freeze and freeze, looking for 6s. 2 mortals.
Oh, nicely done, nicely done. So what's that?
7 at -1.
7 at -1 and 2 more. It turns out that plague bearers only have a 6+ save, so all those spear attacks are going straight through, so it's straight on the ward save. Which I only make 1. Oh, naughty, so that's 8 wounds, that's 4 dead plague bearers. Lastly, we've got Gardus, Steel Soul, he gets to attack.
So because of his saintly assault, he gets an extra attack, putting him to 6. So we need freeze and freeze. So 3 at -1.
3 at -1, so that's going to be what, 6 damage?
Yep.
Ooh, naughty. Ward saves. Save once, he kills another 2 plague bearers, get hacked down. So excellent work there by the Stormcast to clear this centre. They've killed the general, they've killed a load of plague bearers, but hopefully I can get my revenge now with some decent rolls on these disease points. Get rid of some of these faithful buggers. 6 disease points on the evocators on the Dracolions. 4s. That's 3 mortal wounds.
5s. Save 2.
You pack it in with these ward saves, you. Next up, we've got 6 on Gardus Steel Soul. 4s. Only takes 2.
5s.
Oh,
forget.
What? Nothing can touch him. Nothing can touch him. Can't touch this. 4 on the Vindictors. Nothing. What's going on? Oh. Are the other unit of Vindictors? Yeah, watch it. No, way, I injured one. Wow, that was truly battling around this statue of Sigmar has saved us all. That's crazy. All that's left to do is I need to roll a battle shock test for my plague bearers. They've lost 6 models, but if I roll a 1, I get a model returned to the unit. Hey, there's 1 back. Minor victory. With that at the end of turn 3, Michael has managed to pull ahead. I'm on 11 points and he's now on 12. So we've got drones here on full wounds, we've got the evocators with disease on them, and one of them's got 4 wounds left. We've got Gardas who just cannot be touched apparently by anything, disease nor blade. We've got the Vindictors here, they've got a wound and some disease. And we've got these Vindictors with a bit of disease on them. And then I've got my Blight Kings all the way over here. Wondering why no one wants to play with them. So, it's now the roll for priority for turn 4. Quite a big one. Quite a big one. Oh, no!
No, you win ties.
Oh, win ties! Whip, 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 whip. It's Nurgle, turn 4 time. Okay, so turn 4 for the Nurgle. The battle tactic we're going for is called Gifts of Nurgle. Basically, you've got to have 3 Nurgle units within 3 inches of the same unit. So, we'll go into that in a second. I'm now up to 8 corruption points. I've got 1 command point. The wheel has turned, so it's -1 to charges and no pile-ins for non-Nurgle models. So, what's the plan? The plan is, seeing as our Guard of Steel Soul is absolutely refusing to even take damage, I'm going to use that to my advantage, and he's going to be the target for having 3 units within range of him. So the drones are going to make their way over there. He's already in combat with the Plague Bearers, and the Nurglings are also in range of him. So the only thing that's going to knacker my plan up is if he kills I can't see him killing off my Nurglings, but he could get rid of my Plague Bearers, so I need my Plague Bearers to survive. I've got 1 command point for that. That's how I'm going to get my battle tactic, that'll get me back in the lead. I'm doing alright on objectives, because I already own that one because of the Blight Kings, and then they're going to just wander forward and capture this one, while everyone's off battling over here. So, hopefully the plan goes well, and I'll get the full 5 again this turn. So, wish me luck. So that's my movement phase done. The drones have flew up here. Gardas has also done his heroic action to be finest hour, so he's got +1 to wound and +1 to his armour save for this turn. And then the Blight Kings advanced, so they are on that objective, one of them stood on top of it. So, sticky objectives, that one's theirs, that one's theirs. I also have this one over here as well, so I've got 3 of the objectives, so that'll give me 3 points at the end of the turn, but if I manage to have 3 units within range of Gardas at the end of this turn, I get an extra 2. So get me back in the lead again, which is what we want. So first up though, we're going to do some shooting. The drones are going to throw some death heads at these battle cats. I'm sick of them. 6 death heads getting thrown at the battle cats. That's going to be 2 disease points, and they all hit. Freeze to wound. Oh, it wasn't so good on the wounding, or terrible on the wound roll. Only 1 wound.
1. So
4.
Nope.
Goes the wound. No, it doesn't, because you cannot fail a ward save at the moment. It's these stormvaults or something empowering these stormcast to just not die. But I caused 2 disease points though, so I'll add those on. Charges. Some of battle flies are going to charge into the thick of it. Yep, an 8 will do me. Get them right in there. Combat. I'm going to start with the Plague Drones attacking the Evocators and Guard of Steel Soul, because my champion is in combat with Gardas over there. So I'll start with my champion. He's going to attack Gardas, and you're doing all defence on the Evocators, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. So 2 attacks from the Plague Sword of the champion. These hit on freeze and wound on freeze. Just 1 hit. 1 wound, no rend.
So 2s. No, he fails it.
He fails, he takes it over, but does he though? He does actually, he gets wounded, my god. Nurgle. And then his big fly. Look. For a fly guy. That's 2 disease points for him. Wounding on freeze. Wounding 4 times as well. There's no rend on that either.
2s.
Takes another wound.
Not again.
Up to the 2 attacking the evocators. This is the plague bearers on top. Hitting on freeze, wounding on freeze. Both of them hit. Both of them wounded, no minuses.
So, defense to freeze.
Yeah.
Save
Yep.
1.
Get stabbed. Oh,
Yep.
looking a little bit less fearful. Big flies. So that is 3 disease points for them.
6.
To wound. It's just 3. No rend. No,
Save
fine.
1.
Fine. So Vindictors are attacking the Plague Bearers. I'm going to do all-out defence, but Michael picked, because he's gone second, he picked the combat phase to disrupt. So I've only got 1 CP. I'm going to go all defence on the Plague Bearers. I need to roll a 1 or a 2, so it doesn't cost me 2 CP. Thank God. Nurgle. So that means I did get all-out defence on my Plague Bearers, so they've now got a 5+ save. So over to you, your attacks, mate.
I'll just attack normal, so freeze and freeze, looking for 6s.
Nice,
So
nice, nice.
3 mortals. 4 -1.
Yeah, so these will be 6s, because I've got an armour save now. 6s. Well, that didn't help. And now that's 6 wounds in total for the ward save. So I lose 2 Plague Bearers and 1's injured. Yeah, I'm just going to go straight over onto the Nurglings attacking these Vindictors. Michael actually did 3 mortal wounds, but I passed the extra ward save, so I've got 3 Plague Bearers left. 1 who's wounded, so there's only 5 wounds left on that unit. I need them to survive, really, but there's not much I can do about it to help them, so hopefully the Nurglings will put some more disease points onto these Vindictors. 15 attacks from the Nurglings onto the Vindictors, looking for 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, is that 5 disease points? Nice. Just a wound. 1, 2. Just a 2 saves for the Vindictors.
Both saved.
Both saved. In the thick of the melee, Garda Steel Soul has got his finest hour and he's doing all-out attacks, so his attacks are now 2s and 2s.
So 5 attacks. All hit.
Uh-oh, this is not what we want. 5-1.
Oh,
So that's
3 -1.
3 at -1, so I've got a 6 up armour save. Saved 1.
4 damage.
5s and 6s, come on. So I've got a Plague Bearer left alive. He's alive. So Michael's got a plan to ruin my day. So Battle Cats jump down. Now they can't hit this Plague Bearer over here, but at the end of their attacks they can blast out their celestial lightning, so they can unlimited power and zap him at the end of their combat. So that's Michael's plan. Slap about these flies with their actual attacks and then lightning bolt that Plague Bearer to death.
So still empowered, so wound on 2s, hit on 3s. Not the best.
Because they're too busy concentrating on zapping that Plague Bearer.
So 4 -1.
Yep. 6s. Followed by 5s. Nice, I take a wound.
Then my cats. Same again. Oh, what is going on?
Ooh. Rough.
2 -1.
6s. 2d3 damage. 3 damage. That kills the fly. So now their celestial lightning's got a range of 3 inches, so they're going to basically zap, because they can reach for 3 inches across the drone. They're going to zap all the lightning bolts into him. 4 pluses for mortal wounds, yeah?
Yep.
Oh dear.
Oh, there's 3.
3, so that Plague Bearer has 2 wounds, so I need to make 2 ward saves of 5+. Come on, bless these dice, Nurgle. He did not bless them. He's gone. I failed my battle tactic. Damn you, Michael. Last up to attack is these Vindictors, stabbing all these Nurglings that just won't go away. So we need 9 attacks, won't it?
Yep. 3s and 3s, 6s.
That one cocked. There you go, that'll do, won't it?
And then 1 and -1.
Yeah, so they all go straight through, so that's 4 in total.
Yep.
So I just need to make 1 enough. The base will be okay. Yeah, Nurgling bases basically heal in the battle shock phase, so as long as you make 1 save for them, on the base they'll just heal it in the battle shock phase, so there's no point even, there's no one else to attack them, so that Nurgling base will be fine, just more Nurglings just turn up. At the end of the combat phase, it's time, well, not the end of the combat phase, it's now the start of the battle shock phase, so I need to start rolling for some disease rolls, and hopefully someone actually dies from them. So, the Evocators got 7 disease points on them. Riddled. Damn. 2 mortal wounds.
5s. Save 1.
Save 1, so he's down to 2 wounds. Then those Evocators, not Evocators, the Vindictors on top, they've also got 7 on them. And they take 4 mortal wounds. Yeah, so 3 wounds. Gardus has 4 disease points on him. 2 for him.
No.
So he's down to 2 wounds left. And then 2 on the Vindictors over there at the back. Nothing for them. So all the disease points reset to 1. At the end of the Nurgle turn 4, I'm now on to 14 points. So I'm ahead of Michael by 2 points, but obviously it's his turn coming up. He's on 12. We've got this melee still going in the centre. There's lots of people injured, lots of disease points kicking about. I've lost my plague bearers. These lads are too fat and slow to get involved. So it's over to Michael's turn 4. Let's see what battle tactic he picks and what plan he's got to pull ahead. Okay, so Stormcast Eternals turn 4. Command phase stuff. You're going to try and generate a CP for Gardus. You do, yeah. Command point for him. Then we both got a roll for the primal dice. Yeah, there's 1. Yep, 2. So we both get 2 primal dice. Not that they're going to do anything for me because I haven't got any heroes. But you can use them to cast Empower for your battle cats if you want to. Yep. Do you want to do that?
Yep. So 6.
That's a 1.
So
you have to use a primal dice. Are you that bothered? You're retreating from combat anyway, aren't you? So yeah. Yeah, so so that's command phase stuff done with. So Michael, what is your plan?
Retreat.
But why are you retreating?
I'm hoping to gain the middle objective, just near these, with my Vindictors.
Yes.
And I'm hoping to retreat the Evocators, try and get this one.
A very evocative plan.
And then hope for the best of Gardus.
Go. We'll come back to you after the movement phase. It's getting tense, ladies and gentlemen. So, Evocators. They've retreated out of combat and tagged this objective. It's now the Stormcast's objective instead. Flies, still stuck in combat with Gardus. It's proven to be an absolute boyo, won't go down. The Vindictors are in combat with the Nurglings. This unit of Vindictors have retreated out of combat and they are now in range of this objective underneath this fat boy here. Because the Vindictors count as 3 models each, they actually outnumber the Blight Kings and now have took that objective off them as well. That gives Michael 1, 2 and more as long as this combat, as long as I don't these don't turn absolute ninjas and batter everybody. We'll see how that goes. So as long as this combat in the centre doesn't go really badly for Michael, that means he'll score 3 points on objectives. He's had a look through the battle tactics through all of them and there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can achieve. So it's going to be over to shooting phase from Gardus' fancy cloak and then combat. D6 shots from his hammer cloak. 2 shots. Who's this at, by the way? The drones?
Drones.
Drones, yeah.
So freeze.
Well, there you go.
Forget about that.
He's too busy getting covered in flies. Combat phase. Starting with Gardas Steel Soul, he has piled in. He's also issuing all-out attack to punch up and bat some big flies.
So, fingers crossed. So hitting on 2s, wound on 3s.
Yep,
not bad.
Yep, 6s. 4 damage, yep, 4 damage. Causes 3 damage to one of the flies. So, my sneaky flies has moved his big fly butt around there into the Vindictors. So what I'm going to do is, Gardas only has 2 wounds left. So this fly, who's got a, I think he's got a holding a bell, he's going to attack Gardas, but this one, the champion, he's actually going to attack the Vindictors and try and cause some damage to them and put more disease points on them, because they're the ones with a really high objective control. They count as 3 models each. So I'm not too bothered about Gardas really. I'd rather get rid of the Vindictors. So that's my combat, but I'm stuck in combat with him, so I'm going to have to attack him with this fly. So that's the plan anyway. See how it goes. So the musician hitting Gardas with his bell. Hit him. Didn't wound him. Then his big fly. So that's 1 disease point on him and 4 hits. 2 saves for him.
So freeze.
Ooh, he's took a wound, or has he? No, he hasn't. God, he's been brilliant, hasn't he? He's been brilliant all game. The champion attacking the Vindictors behind him. I need to get 6s here, I need disease points on them. 1 hit, 1 wound, no rend. Then his big fly. I said I wanted 6s. Only 2 hits. 1 wound.
Nope. 5. Nope.
Do you attack on your way out?
Is he within 3? He is of a unit.
Yep.
So on 4.
Yeah, he attacks as he goes down.
So this is into your... what are they called?
Nurglings?
Yep. 2 hits.
Yep.
1 wound.
Yeah, you wound a Nurgling. Do you kill anyone with your lightning?
1.
And the Nurglings as well, yeah?
Yep.
Ward. Yeah, you... Oh no, I saved that one, so you just caused a wound to a Nurgling. Vindictors are attacking the flies, yeah?
Yep.
Okie dokes.
6. So freeze and freeze again for 6s. There's 2 6s. 2 saves at -1.
2 6s. No 6s.
So
4 ward saves. So he caused 2 into unit that kills off that fly and then injures the leader. It's up to the Nurglings to save the day here. Get rid of these Vindictors. Come on. Spread the disease, baby. Oh no, I said spread the disease. So I said spread it. Rely on Nurglings. 1 wound.
saved.
Oh dear. Battle shock phase. 4 disease points on 2 Gardas. Get lost. Oh. That's 3 mortal wounds on him.
And he's dead.
He's dead.
Oh, he explodes. 6s.
It causes a mortal wound. Yep, causes a mortal wound. Puts 3 disease points on the Vindictors. Nice, it's another 2. Oh, he done a ward save. Gardas is dead. It's just a Vindictor dead. Yep, and then does he zap my fly guy on the way out? He does.
He does.
Yep, he does. So that flies down to 2 wounds. So at the end of turn 4, Michael scored 3 points, which means he is now on 15 points and I'm on 14, so he's ahead by 1 point, going into turn 5, because he has this objective, so that's 1 point. He has this objective because the Vindictors counts 3 models each, so he has that one, so that's 1 and 2. And then he also has took this one off me here, because the models are Wefmore. This is their Stormkeep at the end of the day. So he's captured that, so it means he has 1, 2 and more, so giving him 3 points. He couldn't do any battle tactics, but he scored the maximum of what he could do. So now it's going into turn 5, so we need to roll for priority. And this is a bit of a nippy bum situation here, isn't it? I'm trying to work out what battle tactics I can do. I've realised how much of a mistake I've made by putting my Nurgle so far back. I should have put it at the very, very edge of my territory, because then I might have been able to summon something within range of an objective, but I haven't done that. So this is why we play your games, isn't it, to learn this stuff. If I'd put it further forward, I could have summoned a hero or something on an objective to nick it, but live and learn. So, Michael, get a dice, mate.
You win ties.
I win ties. Oh! I'm going first in turn 5. Oh! Here we are. It's turn 5 Nurgle. 1 command point. I've generated 5 more corruption points. I'm on 12. And I'm going for this battle tactic called Nurture the Nalmor. Pick a Nalmor. Hello. Make sure there's no enemy units within 12. If there's enemies within 12 at the moment, which there is, there's a Evocator and a Dracolion within 12. If at the end of the turn there isn't an Evocator or a Dracolion there anymore, I get that battle tactic. So that's the only one I can do, so that's what I'm going to go for at the end. Get away from my tree, you. Look who it is. It's a Poxbringer. Ready to bring the pox. He's been summoned in. Get away from my tree. So he's going to try and do a 9-inch charge. So when you summon in a hero, you get to pick spells for them, but there's no point, because turn 5 you'll never get casted. So he's basically all he's here for. He's going to try a 9-inch charge at that Evocator, hopefully beat him up, and I get that battle tactic. Charges the Blight Kings into the Vindictors and need to roll a 3. There it is. But this lad here, this mad lad, I'm going to go get him. Get him, Tiger. He's 9. He didn't. Well, I've got 1 CP. Starting with the fly. I think the Blight Kings will be okay. It's over in this fight. I don't want the Vindictors to kill my fly guy first. So he's going to attack. He's the champion, so he's got 2 attacks. He's all out defensing. He missed. Well done. Good start. Come on, just give me some 6s. I just want some disease points. Oh, the wheel turn, by the way. +1 to disease rolls, so now people die on a free. I said roll 6s. 4 hits though. 2 wounds.
2s.
Great. Well, I was glad I started with him. That went well. Next up is these Vindictors battling with the Blight Kings.
So I've got 6 attacks, looking for 6s. And we get them.
There they are. Now you know how I feel. Now you know how I feel.
1 at -1.
He's alright. Next up the mighty Nurglings. Come on, just roll some 6s. Get some disease points on these Vindictors. Come on. Come on, 6s. 1 6 out of 15 dice. 5 to wound. 1 wound. 2 plus armor.
Yep.
Nope. So now these Vindictors attacking back.
They're going to flying boy.
Yep.
3s and 3s, looking for 6s. So there's 2 mortal.
Yep. Who are these into again?
Your flying guy.
Yep.
2 at -1.
2 at -1, so there's 6s. So he saves 1, and he's got 3 ward saves to make. He has to make at least 1. He does not and dies.
Yeah. The second time.
for the Blight Kings. Show everybody how it's done. Oh, I've said it now, haven't I? 20 attacks. Freeze and freeze. Lovely. Freeze to wound. Lovely. 9 saves at -1 on the Vindictors.
Looking for 4s.
Ooh.
So
yeah, they're all dead.
1 dead, 2 dead. Yeah, they're all dead.
Do they get to attack on death?
So all 3.
One of them does. Mortal wound. Just a mortal wound, which gets through, so it injures, and then you've got all your thunderstrike. Nothing. That's all these Vindictors killed by my Blight Kings. Blight Kings are brutal units. So start of the battle shock phase, there's 4 disease points on these Vindictors, and now because of the wheel, it's now mortal wound on a 3+. 1. There's 1 on the battle cats, and that's a mortal wound to them as well. Okay, that's the end of the Nurgle turn 5. I've failed my battle tactic. I only captured 2 objectives, so I've got 2 points. That puts me ahead by 1 point now, but it's now Michael's turn 5. Stormcast Eternals, turn 5, the last turn of the game. Let's get the primal dice out of the way. Nope, there's no primal dice left, we've used it all up. So, here's where we're at. Michael's behind by 1 point. He already has that objective. That's going to mean on points we're going to draw. This fight over here, as long as it doesn't go really badly for the Vindictors, they'll win and have that objective. That'll put Michael ahead by 1 point in the score, but my grand strategy was to kill his Antorian wizard, which I've already done, so I've got 3 points, so I'm ahead. Michael's grand strategy was to have battle line on the battlefield and none of my battle line, which is these bad lads here. So, if Michael wants to win, he has to remove these Blight Kings, which means his Dracolions are going to have to charge up over the Stormvault and then down into the Blight Kings and kill them, all of them, or I win because I did my grand strategy by a point. So, that sound like the plan, Michael?
Hope for the best.
Hope for the best.
It's all I've got.
So, I'm going to move some Dracolions and then we'll do some charges. If you empower the Evocators.
Nope.
Oh no, they're not empowered. So we've measured it out. It's only a 5-inch charge to make it the first Blight King. So I'm going to roll, Michael.
Reroll charges. Go up to 6. It'll do.
Okay, so the Dracolions made the charge, then they've piled in. They're not empowered. So wish them the best of luck. They've got to kill all these Blight Kings for Michael to be able to achieve. Well, they could fail the battle shock at the end and run off, but ideally you want to do a load of damage now.
So last command point are attacking. So
Yeah.
go on freeze and freeze. Actually no, 2s and 3s, sorry.
Yep, 2s and 3s. Lovely.
Not the best. So 5 at -1.
6s. I make 3 of them and then ward saves. Yep, that puts a Blight King onto 1 wound.
Now the cats.
Ooh, lovely. 5 more.
-1.
I make 2 of them, so you get 3d3 damage.
6s.
So that's
So
5 ward saves. I make 1 of them, so that kills 2 Blight Kings are dead. So they've killed off 2 of the Blight Kings, and now they're going to try and zap the other 2 with the lightning bolts.
So looking for 4s.
3 mortal wounds to the unit. Yep, leaves 1 Blight King on 1 wound. So after the lightning blasts, one of the Blight Kings is left with a wound left. The champion still has 5. So go over to the Nurglings and their attacks on these Vindictors. 15 attacks, hitting on 5s, but I want 6s for the disease points. I want 6s, lads. 2 disease points added on. No wounds, brilliant. Vindictors fighting the Nurglings.
3s and 3s on 6s.
Oof.
Oh,
Oof.
2 man.
Yeah, don't make it, but it doesn't really matter because I'll just heal up the end of the turn, as is the way. At the end of the combat phase, they'll go up to 5 on the disease points, and then next up will be my Blight Kings to pile in and attack these battle cats. So the Blight Kings attacking the Evocators. I've got 10 attacks, hitting on 3s, looking for 6s. Oh. Wound. 5 saves at -1.
So 5s.
3 wounds to the unit. Locator and his cat exploding. Nice. 2 mortal wounds caused to the Blight Kings. Yep, that kills off another Blight King. Who I need to remember they cause disease points when they die, so. Yep, that would put him on to 6, and then at the end of the combat he'd go to 7, so the Evocators would be on maximum amount of disease points. Got 1 Blight King left, there's 1 Evocator left. If I roll a 6, which is over his wounds, I'll cause a mortal wound. I don't. Got disease points at the end of, start of the battle shock phase, so there's 5 on the Vindictors. These are because of the Wheel of Fortune, they are on 3 pluses. That's 4 mortal wounds to the Vindictors.
Yep, no one's saving it.
Oh, yeah. So you just lose 2 of them.
Yep.
And they'll explode you on the way out.
6.
Nothing. And then we've got 7 disease points on this Evocator. Freeze. That's him dead as well. Down to the wire. It's absolutely down to the wire. So, done the disease points. So now, it's battle shock is pretty much going to determine this game. So, these Nurglings will capture this objective if this Vindictor here, if he fails his battle shock test on a 6. If Michael rolls a 6, this Vindictor will flee the battlefield and I'll take this objective. I lost 4 models out of this unit, so if I roll a 5 or a 6, he'll flee. And I'll wait, if I lose him, or if he runs off, Michael will have achieved his he'll have achieved his grand strategy as long as he doesn't fail his battle shock. So shall we roll at the same time? I'll fail mine on a 5 or a 6, you'll fail yours on a 6. I didn't fail. So long! So with that, at the end of the game, points scored during the game were exactly the same. We both scored 16, but I did my grand strategy of killing off his wizard, which means I won by 3 points. It means it's a Maggotkin victory. Good game. Good game. That was close, wasn't it? It was a good job I picked that grand strategy, wasn't it? As if the score was exactly the same and I just won by doing a grand strategy. That shows what happens when you actually play the rules properly, doesn't it? So there you go. Yeah, what I like to do, usually it's just a quick man of the match for both sides, and then talk about like what game we're planning on doing next. So Michael, who's your man of the match?
Mine has to be Gardas.
Why is that?
Don't know why, but he didn't want to stick around 10-4. Kept some units around.
Yeah, not a single person failed the wild save, I think, in that turn. It was crazy. Just Sigmar himself turned up, I think, and just blessed us all. I think for my man of the match, I was going to pick my Blight Kings, but I think I'm going to go for the big man himself, Blow Up, just because he was just a tank. Just tanked for multiple turns in the centre of the battlefield. He was awesome. I really enjoyed him. I'm really glad I brought him. I wanted to bring a big monster. He's a monster in Sigmar, because that's what it's all about, if you ask me. Big monsters. Really enjoyed painting up those Evocators. I think they look great. I think they did really well as well. So what we're planning on doing next, me and Michael, is next time I'm going to use my Stormcast, which is them there. We'll use them, and Michael's, you're going to be bringing your
Nighthaunt.
as Is it? Are they painted yet?
They're all painted. Be gentle. I haven't played with them before.
I haven't got a clue either. I'm sure we'll find out when we play with them. But yeah, that's what's coming next from me and Michael. So hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.